Ah, the classic 0013 pair down. Never change, Magic Online. Never change. And by that, I mean please get replaced by MTG Arena with trading and real events. That's all I want out of life. Alright, so we don't actually have any non-creatures in this hand to trigger the Deeproot Champion, but Stormtamer into Deeproot Curve seems really good, so we're going to keep it. Our deck's mostly non-creature spells, so we'll probably draw things to trigger this. Sure, they announced no trading in their current alpha. That's, you know, I know that it's tough for Magic Online to get new features, but if MTGO Arena is being written like a modern piece of software should... Apprentice Bolas! With the 7-month resubscription, this year has flown by, which is nice, but here, Hoogle, have my money with the Karns in the thing. Thank you very much. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. I appreciate the continued support. The Attune for a forest, some kind of teamer deck maybe. So because I hit another Stormtamer, I think I'm actually just gonna go land Stormtamer here. And that way I can play this with protection up next turn. These are my pirates. There are many like them, but these ones are mine. Hydra, sure. Play this. We'll play this. A little bit choked on green mana. A bunch of our basics here. Wonder if we could actually race this Bristling Hydra or not. Like a tall order. There's Splashing Scarab God, most likely. Usually that's what the black is for. There were decks at the end of last season that were doing well, that were Teamer Energy Splash black for Scarab God. Alright. Hail to the Glorybringer. If this attacks, they get the trigger, so I'm just going to go ahead and pick that right on back up there. Trigger my Deeproot Champion. Four here. Are we holding that back? Yep, they're taking 2 to deal 4. Sounds good. Fatal Push would be a sweet draw. Driven to Despair. Till end of turn, you get when this combat player draw a card. Holy crap.
This is for you.
Do we think this turn's gonna be good? Do we think this turn's gonna be good? How do we feel about this turn, chat fam? Chat fam, tell me how we feel about this turn. Tell me how we feel about this turn, chat fam. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. You weren't attached to those cards in your hand. Yeah, I don't even know what's going on with this deck, but I am super excited right now. This is, were you attached to those cards, opponent? I hope you weren't attached to those cards. Oh, baby. Oh, you could, I'm just gonna take a screenshot of Rudy here. Oh. I don't... stack the triggers. Are they conceding? Is this a concession? That is a concession! God, I'm gonna take the screenshot with the concession in it. Yeah, that's the real bee's knees there. Where is it? Let's make sure we get that in there. So, like, an 8-for-1? Yeah, basically. Basically an 8-for-1. Alright, we burned 30 seconds off my clock taking a picture, but I'm gonna say it was worth it. I don't even know what to do. Oh, that was exciting. Is everyone else as excited as I am right now? I hope everyone else is as excited as I am right now. Fatal push. I want an extra fatal push? Maybe? Am I just clicking submit? I feel like I'm gonna click submit a lot today. We did it. We did it. We did it. Hooray. No, Modern's not about grindy card advantage, Chumos. Modern's about killing your opponent very quickly and mercilessly. That the best moment of the stream is 5 minutes. It'll make the YouTube archive really exciting. There's no way we are... You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You could say... Do we want Hostage Taker? I guess that's pretty good, right? And then we can recast it? Sure, Hostage Taker seems fine. Driven to Despair and Creatures. What am I cutting? That move felt very Hex-like. It was powerful and obnoxious, which is something I'm not used to in Magic. What do I want to cut? Declan, Dad is working. Nope, you're not going in there. Sorry, that's not for toddlers. Am I trimming a chart course? We need threats. There's only 16 threats in the deck. You can't... I guess this is technically adding a threat. Pushes mag and Sneer. I'm gonna cut one of those. I'm gonna cut one champion. Let's call it a day. I'm gonna tweet this picture. Alright, what does this hand do? It's turn 1, Attune, turn 2, Deep. Sounds good. Turn 3. So, Chart Course plus Deeproot Champion is definitely not a combo. It's certainly a thing that is not very combo oriented. Alright, so we hit a third land here. So I think I'm actually going to wait on these Attunes, which might get us in trouble. I'm going to wait on the Attunes because I would like to have them put counters on my Deeproot Champion, which might be greedy. Oh, you know what? I fucked up. Should have played Declan is Screaming in my ear. Should have played this Aether Hub so I could push this off a cliff. God, that's going to cost us this game, isn't it? That is going to cost us this game. My line changed halfway through and I didn't reassess my sequence here. It's like, I always want to lead on my fast lands in case I draw more fast lands. But I was like, well, if I'm not attuning, then I should hold up Fatal Push. But I already played the land because I thought I was going to attune on one. Now, like, they get to go land Chandra and I just, like, cry myself to sleep. Oh, just that. Sure. You know, Magma Spray me? Or Shock me? Wait, what? Sure, I guess. I'm gonna play this. Fatal Push is kind of medium with this matchup, like someone else said, so I'm just gonna go ahead and kill this now. I guess I ended up getting a counter off of it, so like it didn't be strictly worse. Then we get to go ahead and attack with this Deeproot Champion. Then, unless you attack the creature. So, Chart, of course, is kind of awkward with Deeproot Champion because it means I'm not going to be able to get a counter on it for the damage, but I do get to draw an extra card. So we'll draw 2 here. I probably shouldn't have boarded this card out. This card's a 4/4 already. Like, it's gonna be a 5/5 next turn. Like, yeah, I think my gut that I should just, like, never board this out was probably correct. Getting Harness Lightninged. Built. Okay, so what am I doing here? I'm going blue, deep. Play this. Green, blue, derp. Guess this. There's 2 hostage takers on the board. Yeah. This card's great. No, you're not going in that closet. That is not for toddlers. Sorry, kiddo. So this is a... How big is this? This thing... Okay, so they're going to hit me with this and probably gain some life. That's literally the first game we're playing with this deck. Hostage Takers is probably great. Like a Banishing Priest that can generate card advantage seems fine. I would prefer not to have a land. Unsummon sounds wonderful. Blue, dupe. Play this Rogue Refiner. Okay, play this. How I feel about Standard. I feel like I haven't played enough matches to form an educated opinion about it. And I think even if I had played a bunch of matches so far, it would have been without really knowing what the format's like, because the format doesn't really have anything to shape it just yet, so... Flooding a little bit this game. There's only 18 actual lands in the deck, but we've got 4 Attune with the Aether, so we're basically a 22 land deck. Actually, we played a league on Tuesday, Likely Aliens. This is technically our 6th match of this format. Technically the 6th match for us. I'm assuming this is going to crew this, then this is going to attack, and then we can block with the Rogue Refiner here to encourage them to dump 4 counters onto this, and then I can unsummon it. I mean, to be fair, Likely Alien, they're likely used to people... like, giving their opinions on things without having any actual information about it. Like, people love to give their opinions on things without having, like, enough information to actually give something meaningful. Nah, Magic players love to call things early and be like, oh, this is really good, this is really bad, etc., etc. Alright, they're gonna put 2 counters on this, most likely. I almost put a Scarab God on the board. If they have a Blossoming Defense here, I'm going to be a little sad. You need to calm down, dude master. You're killing one of my things. So we know they have a cub in their hand. Or breeding by Siren, sure. Alright, perfect. Or if I attack you with these 2. Yeah, Declan's a little tilted this morning, because I won't let him play inside of the closet. being 2 is tough. It's a little annoying that we drew more lands. Let's cast this, get a forest. Play this. I'm gonna go thin 1 more land out of my deck. Grab a swamp here. I'm gonna pass the turn then. I'm going to save this last one, so not only can I opt plus still hold up a Blossoming Defense at end of turn here, but I want to save this in case we draw another Deeproot Champion, I think. That card's strong. No, I don't want to shuffle. The chance of finding a champion is really low, and the chance of opting into a land is particularly high, and I don't want to... What's the word I'm searching for? I don't want to opt a land to the bottom of my deck and then reshuffle immediately with Blossoming Defense, or with Attune with the Aether. No, opt costs 1 mana. There's a big difference between 1-cost cards and 2-cost cards. The big difference between 1-cost cards and 2-cost cards. Man. Alright, well, we'll get to be on the play for the 3rd game. I have a shock. No, I signed a bunch and sold them. So, actually, even if you want to be results-based, this card wouldn't have been on top of our deck if we opted before we played the Attune with the Aethers, because the Attune shuffled our deck. So, for being results-based, you can know that the results of that weren't different. So, Hostage Taker is actually like a great draw here, right? Because we could, if we rip Hostage Taker, we could play Hostage Taker, take this, cast it, and then make a bunch of tokens. I've got 6, so I can't opt into a Hostage Taker, but just like ripping Hostage Taker would be like nutso next turn. This guy holds the Ground Pounders at bay right now. We know their hand is Longtusk Cub plus 1 card they don't know. Also, like, worth noting, like, we're in this game right now, and we've drawn 9 lands to their 4. I mean, that's how games with variants by design work. They have variants inside of them. All right, chart a course. Yeah, I think I'm gonna crack with both Roger Fighters here and just leave back Deeproot as a blocker. Although I guess they could crew this and then attack with a bunch. Yeah, I'm gonna attack with just 1 so we could trigger the change course. I don't know what that card does offhand. I couldn't tell you if I think it has a place, because I couldn't tell you the text box on it without looking it up. And we've drawn more than a third of our lands, right? I'm gonna go ahead and opt here. Looking for a Hostage Taker. Siren Tamer. I bottom that. We're just looking for Hostage Taker at this point. Perfect! The perfect perfects, if you would. That extra Lando. You want bots? Don't have any blocks. Declan Scott, you need to calm down this morning, bud. I don't think Teamer has enough non-creature spells for it to be worth it. That's the one you want? Okay. I have no idea what I banned that person for in Ferdom. We banned so many trolls here, just like, it's hard to keep track. Still looking for a Hostage Taker. If we hit a Hostage Taker, we've got enough power that we're going to take this game over, I think. It'll push. I'm just attacking with this. I think I'm just getting in with my 6/6. Alright. This is my 2-mana 7/7. There are many like it, but this one is mine. We're dead to a Glorybringer here, right? But we didn't have any lines that didn't put us dead to a Glorybringer, so let's just, like, smash and go. They don't have another troop. They actually can't attack here, because they'd only go to 10 off of life trading on this. We have 10 power in play. It's not a one-man. What is this, Modern? Remember the time we boarded one of this card out? Let's never do that again, chat. Things we're never going to do again. Board this card out. If they have one blocker, as long as it doesn't... Okay, so they have removal. I mean, like, we're dead on board, so... Try and attack for lethal. Sure? I guess? Sure? I guess? I mean, there's the hostage taker coming up. Guess we didn't need it. Alright, 2-0. Easy game, easy life. Welcome to Magic Online. Enjoy your stay. Good morning, afternoon, and good night, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for joining us here. Playing some Sultai tempo in Ixalan Standard this morning. Hope you're having half as much fun as we are. That opponent was just driven to despair too much from the first game when we turned for 8 for 1 them. We discarded 4 cards out of their hand and drew 4 cards off of a driven to despair. It was excellent. If you're enjoying what you see, please hit that follow button. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps other people find my stuff here. If you're really enjoying what you see and you want to help me produce more of this content, there's a couple different ways you can do that. The best way is by subscribing on Twitch. It is currently September, so all new subscribers are half off on this channel and every other. You can also support my content by supporting my sponsors. MTGOtraders.com will love to buy and sell Magic Online cards with you. Use code Hoagland, PayPal with them. You'll save 8% on all of your singles orders there. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards at CoolStuffInc.com. InkGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience. Using code Jeff12, you can save 12% on your orders of custom playmats, mouse pads, and sleeves with them. And finally, SpareDeck.com. They offer kind of a unique service. They will rent you any physical, standard, or modern deck. Let's say you want to give Sultai Tempo a try, but you don't want to own all these cards. You don't want to buy them without getting a feel for it first yourself. You can rent it from them for a weekend or up to an entire month and kind of get a feel for the deck before you commit to owning it. This hand's a little bit medium on the draw, but like we've got a lot of blue sources in the deck, right? I feel like I can keep this. I don't know. Maybe that's not true. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15 blue sources. This is probably a little greedy. Probably a little greedy. Keep drawing mono blue cards here. Hopefully we hit an Attune with the Aether next turn. Or an island. Oh no! Oh no! Our Cubs bet a fatal push. Basic is land, please. Alright, that's castable, I suppose. Hey, Justin Mack. Welcome back, welcome back. Essence Extraction. That card's still legal. Yep. Deeproot Champion. Awful. Confirmed. Dies to Doomblade. Dies to Essence Extraction. Wonder if they're going to counter this. I'd counter this if I was the opponent. Alright, does that mean no counter spells? I feel like that means no counter spells, but we'll see. I mean, we don't actually know, like, what our opponent's playing a very removal-heavy deck, which is traditionally those types of decks are very good against a deck like what we're playing. Got a lot of interrupts here. Hopefully we're going to chart a course for victory. The extraction seems fine. If you're expecting a lot of mono ruby decks, the extraction seems great. Like kill one of their troops and gain 3 life seems fantastic. Just try to draw a card and get a 3/2 here, friendo. Just try to draw a card and get a 3/2 here. Frays are done. We've gotten out of our flood of non-blue cards. Did Aetherborn? Sure. Technically interrupt is a magic term. So I would like to be on the board that interrupt is a magic term. Okay, so I could play this Deeproot Champion out, but I think I want a chart course. Because, like, these are active and are just, like, draw 2s here. So I think I'm just gonna, like, double draw 2. If I hit a land, because I haven't played a land yet this turn, right? Yeah, so I'm just gonna double draw 2 here. Like, casual draw 4 out of my aggro deck. Deeproot Champion. Deeproot Champion. We are the champions of the world. I was gonna try and push one of my Deeproot Champions off a cliff. We're gonna unsummon the one they essence extract here. Let's try and grind him out. Trigger my other one. No health for you. Come back in 1 year. I've not. Do they have another Gear Hulk here? This smells like another Gear Hulk, right? Does this smell like another Gear Hulk to anyone else? I mean, we just race at Griffinson, or the Deeproot Champions can get bigger than it. Oh, it smells like another Gear Hulk. They did not miss a line drop. They played a fetid pool. Not want to land. That's actually a good draw. I think that's a good draw. Yeah. Alright, and then I'm going to do that. And I'm going to cast this. Have I played a land yet this turn? I feel like I haven't played a land yet this turn. I might have. I don't actually remember. Grab this island and find out. I have not. Alright, so now I get to attack with this. And if my opponent flashes in a Gear Hulk to try and block it, I get to Fatal Push their Gear Hulk, and then my guy will be bigger than their Gear Hulk. Yeah, you could target... Okay, so hopefully they're going to push this one. And then block this. They sell the line. Alright. That's unfortunate. Am I just casting this? Or am I casting Longtusk Cub? Just want to draw 2. Might have been loose. Go to 5 here. Blossoming Defense is a decent draw. Let's go ahead and play Longtusk Cub. Play this land. Let's go ahead and play Longtusk Cub. Pass the turn. We actually have this board under control, right? If there aren't a bunch of bricks, we could actually win this game. I am literally casting the spell to put a 1/1 counter on my Deeproot Champion, just so everyone's aware. Everything is above the board. Sure. Despair Giving Menace is Dees. You're not wrong. It doesn't really matter here. I guess let's get another blue source. So I have 8 energy. Deeproot Champion is nutso. Am I supposed to get aggressive here? I really wish. This is the game we stumbled to, right? This is the game I didn't have my 3rd land on until like turn 4 or 5. I think I'm supposed to wait a turn here. I could hit another threat. I have this Blossoming Defense. I don't feel like I'm under a huge amount of pressure. Yeah, that's terrifying. I mean, like, we stumbled. They had double Gear Hulk quickly, and, like, they had plenty of quality removal. So, like... Wait, why didn't they kill my Deeproot Champion? I don't understand. Misclick. Alright, well, why would we attack? I mean, okay, this gets, I'm so confused. Who knows? Welcome to Magic Online. What is going on? I don't understand. We're gonna win this game, but I don't understand why. Let's drive our opponent to despair here. Trigger. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, hey, hey. All right, take 16, I guess. Discard 2, I'll draw 2. Triggers. Triggers. My opponent doesn't want to play Magic anymore. They don't want to play Magic anymore. We would have drawn some useless cards, but, you know, details. All right, so I'm pretty sure it's Unsummoned and Fatal pushes out. I had a plan, right? Yeah, sweet. Jace, Negate, Kitesail Freebooter in. Look, if my opponents didn't make questionable plays, I'd never top 8 a Magic tournament. There you go. I think I want any of these other cards. Oh, dinos for the Gearhulks don't seem bad. Just like extra threats too. I guess, so Driven to Despair was good there. Because we don't actually have a ton of black, Ryan. So Driven to Despair was good there, but I feel like it's not going to be super great on average, right? Is this better? Is this card better? I feel like this card is better. I'm gonna do that. Let's do that. Let's try. Let's give this a try and see how it goes from here. Yep. This hand does things I am interested in doing in Magic the Gathering. Play this, play this. This is actually kind of tough. Do I want to let them have Disallow and Supreme Will up next? I think I want to let them have their counter spells up next. I think I'm just going to go ahead and pass here. I think they certainly have more removal than they do counters. This also lets me play around Censor, technically. Yeah, I think we're supposed to wait till 3. Like, we expose ourselves to, like, Supreme Will now, but I think that's fine. Yep. I do not have the mana to pay for that. And when it rains, it pours, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna put this into play now, so that way if I need to protect this with a Blossoming defense, I don't have to spend the energy to do so. The energy is worthwhile with the Longtusk Cubs later. I know this could have come into play tapped this turn, but like we're not gonna be hurting for mana here. This can't counter spells. Scarab God is very, very good. So, I think we're going to be in a position to raise Scarab God here. Certainly not with... Man. Our draws have been rancid in this league so far. We're 1-0 and up a game in this match, but our draws have been rancid. No, that's just the sunlight coming in from the window. At some point, our defense is going to blossom. It is going to be beautiful. How are we supposed to tempo our opponents without Spell Queller? I guess Deathgorge Scavenger is good against Scarab God too, huh? I would love to play first. Thank you for asking. Easy mulligan here. Oh, magic. Nothing makes you appreciate Hex like mulliganing to Obliviated Magic. Alright. Let's go ahead and attune with the Aether for an island, I suppose. Alright, Tiny Monster, before you make me misclick, get up here. So for those who are unfamiliar, because Hex is a digital TCG, their opening hands aren't completely random. They remove a bunch of the hands from their game like you just saw us mulligan. So the 10% most resource light hands and 5% most resource dense hands that every deck can generate, they just don't generate. So like you have less games like this where one player just mulligans a bunch because they don't have any lands. And you could say we only have 18 lands in our deck, but like those one landers would have been keepable with Attune with the Aether too, so like we basically have 22 lands. Please resolve Chart of Course. Please resolve Chart of Course. Really like to draw to you, please. Censored, tilt. Ooh, sweet. Land, please. Yep, that's realistic. Womp, womp, womp. Great. You want some Z-Bar? There you go. Eat up, little fat boy. Start by attacking with us. Hex's algorithm would not factor in things like Attune. Only actual factual resources. So, part of me wants to chart course again here. I think I'm just going to do that. I think if they have a counter, they might actually burn it on this. Since I didn't play a land last turn. Like they have a Supreme Will. Like if they're Supreme Willing this, then they're not Supreme Willing something else. Next turn I can go Deeproot plus Opt and then have Storm Siren up still to protect it. So that seems pretty good. Also, one of the most important things you want to think about when you're playing a game like this is that, or a matchup like this specifically, is that you want to play things that your opponent wants to interact with on turn 4 especially. This is their Glimmer of Genius turn. Opponent is running Censor. We saw a Censor last game. So I want to leave up double blue here and play Deeproot Champion. I want to leave up Opt plus this. Essence Scatter, sure. And again, like, oh, so because of the way I've tapped here, I can't Freebooter now. It's a little annoying. We grab another black source with this. That's fine. I think we're supposed to leave up Opt plus Stormtamer there. That's close. Next turn, I get to go Kitesail plus Jace or Kitesail plus Deathgorger, depending on like what's in my opponent's hand. Do I want another Jace? I feel like that's probably fine to answer my first one. That's pretty good. I don't have triple blue, though. Okay, so they've revealed their hand. Now I have to like click OK, and then I take a card. God, that's awkward. All right, so it takes Supreme Will out of their hand, and it shows the cards twice up here. What? What good programming? What quality programming? I think I want to just attack them here and negate their Glimmer this turn. I think I want to just take them off the Glimmer. Like, their hand's pretty bad, right? Make sure you have a Ganti. I'm just like going Jace plus Deathgorger here, right? Seems reasonable. Then, like, if they want to attack my Jace next turn, they can do that, and they'll just, like, play another Jace and plus it. I think if your goal is to be winning as many matches of matches of Magic as possible, playing Grixis Delver is the best deck in Legacy. Cycle, sure. I'm cosplaying Jace. Yeah, there's no sleeve over here. I cut it off because Jace ain't got no second sleeve, so neither do I. Avoid the Glimmer of Genius here. Get that out of there so they can't Gear Hulk for value next turn. I would love to use this, yes. Oh, it only gets 1/1 till end of turn? Oh, I thought this got a 1/1 counter. Oh, that's annoying. You have a Scarab God, that's fine. This card's way less impressive than I thought it was. I'm just doing this. I thought I was getting a permanent, wait. This thing doesn't fly? Holy crap. God, this Jace card is really bad. If you want to ask me why I attacked with that, it's because I thought it flew. You know, the more you know. Is this game 2 or is this game 3? Anyone remember? Is this game 3? Yeah, we lost to the... Yeah, we're probably going to lose this game. Probably gonna lose this game to the Scarab God. This card doesn't even fly. That card's fucking terrible. Yeah, Jace is dead. Alright, let's play this. Scatter, yep. This card's also much worse than I thought it was. Oh, they're gonna make a flyer and eat this and get their Supreme Will back. That's pretty good. If we exile our Deeproot, our opponent just will just exile it in response. That's how magic works. Hi, buddy. You a good little fat boy? That forgot how to stand? Standing stuff? Yeah, this plan for the control matchup does not seem good. I put these Jaces on my board thinking they were a playable card, and they're not. This Jace is real. Most expensive card in the deck. Don't play it. This card's fucking bad. It's really bad. I just assumed the illusion token had flying. There's a lot of text there. We should have lost this match 3-0, but we stole the first game because my opponent made a bunch of mistakes. Yeah, Scarab God is great. Yeah, honestly, like, if our Jace would have been a Scarab God there, we would have been much better off. I thought this was going to be, like, an actual relevant, useful threat against the control decks, but... yeah, the fact that these threats aren't evasive is a really big drawback. Yeah, maybe. I kind of want something that just, like, actually attacks them. I thought about Simic Nissa, but then I ended up playing the Jace because I just, like, wanted something to, like, put power toughness onto the table, because, like, we're technically a tempo deck, so, like, I want to actually pressure the opponent. I don't actually know if Kitesail is good or not. I guess I got it a couple of chip shots there. Man, my favorite thing to do on Magic Online is Mulligan. Seems good at least. Fatal Push. We'll bottom that, but we're attuning on one anyway, so it doesn't really matter. We get an Island here. I mean, we're not a dedicated energy deck, so there aren't any Bristling Hydras in here, no. We're also a lower to the curve deck. Like, our most expensive card is 3. These Rogue Refiners are mostly 1 and 2 drops. Yes, Glint. I agree, Captain Morgan or Mogar. I think Glint Sleeve Siphoner is actually the droid we're looking for in that slot. It's a must-answer threat that we can protect and it draws cards. No, they're likely the Teamer Energy deck again. It's a good draw. It's a Longtusk Cub. Hydra's expensive and clunky. We're trying to get under stuff like that. So, like, the problem with playing cards like... trying to play cards like that is, so, like, you're thinking about, you want to play prowess creatures, but, so what a lot of people don't think about when they build decks... maybe I was supposed to play the Aether Hub here so that way I could have Unsummon or Blossoming Defense up this turn. The thing about playing multicolored decks, especially 3-color decks like this, is your selection of spells and how early you intend to cast those spells affects how good your mana is in the deck. So the mana in this deck would be much, much, much worse if we were trying to play 1 and 2 cost red cards. I'm gonna unsummon this guy. I think I'm actually just gonna play Driven here and draw a card. Cycling this doesn't feel great, but, like, at some point I'm gonna flash it back and then, like, make them discard a card as well. The fact that, Despair gives Menace is kind of insane, too. Kind of running on fumes here. Just having Longtusk Cub as a play is good for us. I like what this deck is about too, Squishy. It's doing things I enjoy doing when I play Magic the Gathering. Got lots of Cubs. It's okay. Why does... Okay. We've mulliganed a lot because we've drawn poorly. Like, so like, when you estimate whether or not a deck mulligans a lot, a deck mulligans a lot if you're looking at hands that have lands and spells, and you have to mulligan them because they're not functional. This deck, we've just been getting a bunch of one-landers in our 22-land deck on Magic Online because sometimes you have to mulligan a lot because Magic Online Shuffler. But, like, we're not... This deck, in the abstract, doesn't mulligan a lot. We have, like, most of our hands with lands and spells have been keepable. The hands we've been mulliganing are just piles of one-landers. There's links to the deck list down below the stream. You don't have to wonder about questions like that. You can just find the information yourself. If you're on mobile, you have to, like, jump through a hoops and summon a goat, but you can get to the information section on mobile still, I promise. I didn't attack because I don't want these Longtusk Cubs to attack me. Although it looks like that's not going to be an option now. Probably getting smacked around here. They could make one of these a 6/6. No attacks from them. Okay, sure. Spell. Alright, that's a heck of a spell. Alright, flash this back. It's probably safe to assume all the energy decks that we play against today are Teamer energy. Probably not unreasonable to assume. I'm just going to pass priority here. If they want to trade both of these for this, I'm okay with that. They were okay with that too. Maybe I wasn't okay with that. I probably wasn't supposed to be okay with that. Yeah, I should have Fatal Pushed there. Yeah, that was bad. That was all my guess. I should have Fatal Pushed. I thought we could get them to use some energy. But yeah, I should have Fatal Pushed one of them and then gotten them to burn some energy there and then Blossoming Defense to get them again. We might have been able to fight through that. We would have had a... This was a 4, so it would have been a 5, a 6. So, like, maybe we can beat through this Glorybringer with a 6/6. What are we doing here? Hostage Taker seems great. I'm going to cut one of these, and a Fatal Push is kind of medium in this matchup. I'm okay with that. I mean, like, we didn't concede because they had a dragon. We conceded because I didn't Fatal Push their thing because I'm an idiot. Should have pushed pre-blocks to get the Hydra. Yeah, that's the right line. Good call, Tumos. Yeah, that's correct. I should have pushed pre-combat. And then if they don't want to discard an extra card to the Driven, they have to double block with the Hydra too, and then the Blossoming Defense gobbles them up. Yeah, I like that. That, I think, was the actual correct line. Hey, look! This one-lander has an Attune in it. God bless. Go grab a basic Island. Attune Longtusk Cub is a solid curve. Will we hit a land in our first 2 draw steps? Unsummon's been great. Unsummon is a split card that says protect your threats plus generate tempo, and with Driven to Despair, it, what's the word I'm searching for? With Driven to Despair, it can actually be, like, removal. My body is ready to never draw a third land and die. Put a Longtusk Cub because it doesn't die to Magma Spray or Shock here. Since we attuned on one. Yep. Honestly, it might be worth spending 2 of my energy to make them spend an extra power there. Such a build. This game needs more Fate Weave in it. I just want things that add consistency to my deck, Watsy. Is that asking too much? Yay. I feel like we've mulliganed a lot in this league, and the sideboard is poorly built. I feel like Jace the Cunning Castaway is fucking terrible and should not be in the deck. No, I think I want better threats for the control matchup. See, the problem is the cards out of the control deck that put us away in the 2 postboard games were Scarab God. So honestly, maybe Hostage Taker is just supposed to come in, or I want more actual threats in my deck. Like a Scarab God of my own, perhaps. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Hopefully they attack with both of these here. Then we get to Blossoming Defense this trigger and Aether Rogue Refiner. This went well for us. That actually doesn't seem bad, Griffinson. Some Scroungers seem great for the removal heavy matchups. Yeah, I like that a lot, actually. Again, a little awkward that we have to play this post-combat, but I think that's right. I think I'm supposed to get, I'm supposed to leave the green up here, because I could draw another Blossoming Defense to protect this, or draw an Attune with the Aether to make it a 5/5, so that way it doesn't die to another Glorybringer. Yay, small percentage plays. Grab a second black here. That's fine. Declan and this fucking squeaky toy, man. This darn squeaky toy. The squeakiest of toys. Alright, what you got, friendo? Yep. Glory to the dragons. No, I don't think so, Pimped Up Monk. A lot of decks in the history of the game have, like, boarded powerful cards like that. Use your words. Explain this deck wants Spell Pierce in the 75 because, and then fill in the because for us. I'm all for ideas, but I want you to complete your thought. Be a good student. Op's not bad. Not need another land at this point. Gonna attack with this. Get them to 11. Yep. Because it looks so good against these Glory Bringers. Man, yeah, I could have Spell Pierced these Glory Bringers. This is like a Spell Dragon, right? I'm going to play a third Glory Bringer and kill us. I'm just never beating that one. Rogue Refiner, sure. I really want a Soul Pierce. That card sounds great. Counter target creature spell unless they... See, WotC would never print that. Creatures are WotC's baby. WotC loves creatures. We could steal this next turn. You're not wrong. This Driven to Despair plus the Blossoming Defense could sneak this out. This card, I don't... If this deck has taught me anything, it's that this card is really good. That's what we've learned so far today, chat fam. This card, really good. Actually just attacking for lethal here with Blossoming Defense Protection. These guys have Trample and Menace. Man, remember that time we beat double Glorybringer? Remember that time we beat double Glorybringer? Watch them have 2 removal spells here and I'm gonna be really sad. Can't block, friendo. He's very menacing. Illegal block. Rogue Refiner can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures, but only 1 are assigned to block it. Sorry, friendo. Grrr, we're very menacing. Grrr. We don't have any black cards in our deck. Menace, Bressif. Yeah, triggers. Oh man, I didn't even get to draw my cards. I want to draw my cards. I think I like how he boarded. Also, this card also been insane. Man, there's a green-black card. If there's a green-black aggro deck in this format, man, put some Driven to Despairs in it. There's got to be a snake deck with Driven to Despair, right? Like, that card's been super powerful today. Lazarus! With the 18-month resubscription, a year and a half you have put up with me. Thank you for the continued support. I do appreciate it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We don't have any green mana. It's fine. It's fine. We're going to draw some green mana. We're not going to draw green mana. Oh, no. Oh, no. Man, he beat me by 1 month. Rats. Oh, Aaron W. Kent with the 17-month resubscription. Welcome back. Thank you for the continued support. I do appreciate it. Look at that. That sub-retrain hype. Mr. Silicone with the 5-month resubscription. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I do appreciate it. Welcome. No, the Jace is really bad. We put it in our deck against a control deck last match, and it was terrible. It was awful. Would not play it again. I was under the impression when I put it in my deck that the 2/2 illusions had flying. Turns out they don't. Attune is also, think of Attune in addition to being a card that works with Longtusk Cub, it's also a land that triggers Deeproot Champion, and it's fixing. Drax with the Chias. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I do appreciate it. I deserve this. I deserve that one. Boom goes the cup with the big Chia. Right on. Right on time, Deeproot Champion. Or right on time, Slow Shard. If this was Hex, we would be able to cast our spells. You're not wrong. The resource system in Hex is much better than the resource system in Magic. Do I want to unsummon that? I feel like I don't. I feel like I want to save this unsummon for when I have a Deeproot Champion in play. Forest. Forest. Rats. It's probably going to be too little too late. This hand was a bad keep. I'm just tired of mulliganing. I get hit by a second piece of removal and cry ourselves silently to sleep. I don't think we're beating this Bristling Hydra. Maybe some Doomfalls in the 75 wouldn't be bad. It's a card that we can use to kill things like Bristling Hydra while also interacting with the control deck. The Freebooter seemed kind of mediocre, so like maybe I could see that being good. We're only 1-2 in this league, but I kind of like this deck a lot. I kept a couple of bad hands, and we got pretty unfortunate on a couple of mulligans, and the sideboard is definitely bad, but like the core idea of what's going on here is pretty reasonable, I think. Deeproot Champion's been super impressive. Driven to Despair has just been obnoxiously good. A Fatal Push has actually seemed kind of mediocre. When I put this card in my sideboard, I was pretty sure it got a 1/1 counter. Turns out it doesn't. When I put this card in my sideboard, I thought it made a 2/2 flyer. It's really weird how you should read the cards before you put them in your deck. You should read the text box top to bottom. Nah, Traveling to Magic is just like a giant bottomless money pit. I did my time. I smartened up. I broke even 3 years in a row traveling to 30 Magic events in a year. We're done with that life. I'm just gonna hang out and stream. If I take a weekend to stream, I get to make content for all of y'all, as opposed to just like spending $1,000 to like go to Dallas for the weekend to, you know, probably scrub out. Because most people that go to Magic tournaments are scrubbing out, right? Like the game has enough variance by design that like even when you have buys, you shouldn't assume you're going to do well. Is there a green-black deck using Snake and Champion? Maybe. The problem with Champion is that like it puts this deck building constraint on you where like you need to put this critical mass of non-creature spells in your deck. Now that I'm an old person, that's exactly my life, Seth Sparks. And honestly, it's not even that like I'm an old person now so I don't want to travel. It's that like between Hex and the Magic Online weekend events, like I have 5 different challenge events I could choose to play on Magic Online every weekend. I have 2 different $1,000 cash tournaments that I can play on Hex every single weekend. So, like, why am I going to, like, spend all this time and effort going to a physical tournament when, like, I could get the same competitive experience from my home, not have to worry about people cheating against me, and, like, you know, still enjoy myself. Get the same experience for less money, and it's more enjoyable in all honesty. That drew a pooper. Sign me up. what I consider the minimum spell count for a Deeproot Champion. I don't know. I haven't actually done that math. This is a deck list that, someone that I talk about with deck lists occasionally online. Zach, I'm liking on Zach's last name. Zach's got a Grand Prix top 8, though. Sharp individual. No, not Elsic. Maybe I thought it's I'm so bad at names. I'm better with faces. No, it is Zach. Yeah, actually his last name isn't on his Twitter. He's a Minneapolis player. Sweet, we get to trigger this charter course now. Sign me up. So like, I always found it odd when people were like, so like, if I'm at an SCG tour event and I'm doing well, I'm like lucky to be on camera like, you know, 3 or 4 times in a weekend. Whereas like, if I just like stream all day, I get to be on camera for y'all playing sweet decks for literally hours on end. I'm gonna harness lightning my Dorko. Yeah, I think that's fine. I'm probably gonna draw another threat here on this charter course. Look at that. Drew another threat. I played a land this turn already, so yeah, I'll go ahead and pass. Just opt their end step. It would have negated their energy, but it would have meant that I wouldn't have been able to cast my opt. And I think I wanted to cast my opt because this costs a mana to sacrifice. It's not Curse Catcher. Just like get super punished for keeping a land with the opt. Maybe I was supposed to bottom it aggressively there since it wasn't a black source. And I mean, like, at the end of the day, remember, like, trading card games are something you should be doing for fun. So, like, if you enjoy going to physical Magic tournaments, you should go to physical Magic tournaments. Like, if you want to make money, you should, like, have a job to do that. It's just, like, in addition to, like, physical Magic tournaments being a bad idea about a job, they're also just, like, exceedingly expensive, right? Glad I play Magic for the next hour or 2. Yeah, we're gonna play Magic. I don't know. What does my calendar say? I think we'll play Magic till like 11:30 today. Yeah, till about 11:30. So about another hour 45 or so. Just gonna go land and play another Dorker here, I think. Guess this is kind of bad against a Glory Bringer. I like Unsummon in this deck. We were talking about that earlier, but maybe 4 is too many. I'm in Central Standard Time, Cornfield time. No glory to the Hypnotoad. We've mulliganed a lot. This card's been pretty impressive, too. That's... wonder if my opponent's attached the last couple of cards in their hand. Huh. I kind of just want to play this and flash it back. Yeah, that's... so I play this and flash it back. My dorks get Menace and Trample. Alternatively, I could just, like, attack with both and, like, chart a course afterwards. I don't hate that. We could also Driven plus Despair, and then, like, Unsummon afterwards is not completely unreasonable. Unsummon our Blossoming Defense to push damage through. The fact that this land doesn't come into play untapped is pretty terrible for us. I think I'm just gonna do this. Shame we don't have a Deeproot Champion in play. That'd be kind of great. I'm gonna put these two out here. Thank you, buddy. Well, Blossoming defends this one, so that way it lives and it hits them for damage. We're not, actually, but that Carnage Tyrants probably could be a card. We were talking about wanting other threats for the control matchup. That's probably a card that's fine, too. The Jaces were pretty terrible. I wanted to try and play more cute tempo-y things. The Jace was just really bad, so I don't think I'd play that again. I don't think I want to kill all four, though. I think I'd rather keep this in play, especially considering I have, like, this Chart the Course left over. I'm just gonna hit this with the loot effect here. This. Play this. Play this. This is Attune, gives them another Thopter, which is annoying. So Chandra lets them... Yes, another Attune. Okay, that one actually gives them another Thopter too, because they went from 2 to 6 now. My Cubby Bears keep their other dorks at bay here. It's kind of nice. Unsummon's looking aggressively mediocre. Wow, we just Attuned me instead of making another Thopter? That seems loose. I'm under the threat. Bristling Hydra? Oh. I feel like I'm supposed to ship into this Chandra, but then we're just dead on the backswing. Pretty dead here no matter how we slice this, right? Just gonna attack them and see if we can sneak out a game here with bad combination of blocks and attacks on their part over the next turn and a half here. Yeah, kill one of their Thopters here. Maybe the Whirler Virtuoso, get a 3/4. Yeah, I agree. I think this probably was better off just like doming us for 2. No, I mean, that technically gives us a counter in here. You want to eat? Mm-hmm. What do you want to eat? Do you want cereal or Cliff Bar? Cereal or Cliff Bar? Pick one. Hey, if you change your mind, you know where they're at. Maybe? Oh, Dad needs to change a diaper. I'll be right back. Think I'm just attacking them with this? I need to change a diaper though really quick. Yeah, I definitely think there are too many unsummons in the deck. I think that's an easy, hey, this should be. some of these, some amount of these things should be something different. There are too many unsummons in here. Thinking 2's probably the ceiling, so you don't have a bunch of things like this. We're gonna like trade these unsummons for 3 points of energy here. Big Z Wine with the brand new $4.99 a month subscription. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Subscriptions are the best way you can support my content here, so I appreciate that next level support. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're pretty dead here, right? So the problem with snakes is that we don't actually have that many black sources in the deck. We only have 13 black sources, which is not a ton, and like a lot of the time your early attunes cannot be afforded to be getting black sources. I hate comments like what Greasy Inside just made. So, like, I think it could work, but the cards aren't there. Well, if the cards aren't there, it probably can't work. That's just, like... It's just, you know, let's be realistic here. I think this is good, except it's not. But what? Why even say it? Why even say it? Why even say it? All right, I'll just dust that one off right there. Well, it's obvious because he's greasy on the inside, right? Get out of here. Thoughts on Rune Reader? Again, like, all of the black cards are not free. Also, Kithkin's comment there on, like, Snake being a do-nothing card of its own. You kind of want your threats to be, like, kind of individually powerful, I think. Bruh, you misunderstand me, bruh. Bruh, come back, bruh. Just want a Schwamp here, probably. The charter courses have been really good too. I wonder if there's a good, man, that's kind of a tilt. I'm gonna bottom that and try and just find a third land naturally. Ding. Are there any good, like, token producers that we could play with Deeproot that are just, like, they're a threat, but they're not a creature, so they trigger Deeproot? Long Rogue Refiner, my old friend. There's some in white. Okay. And for a threat, I guess we'll just cast this chart course and probably bin an unsummon or a land, depending on how many more lands we draw. Yep. We've read 8 Deeproots. Steam Flogger Boss with the real hard-hitting suggestions. 10 out of 10 would like to read 8 Deeproots. So, what colors do I want to leave up? I want to leave up... Probably want to leave up Island plus this, so I'll play this, then play Attune with the Aether and go get a Forest, I think. Savage Knucklebuster, you're tearing me up. That's all I really want out of life is a playable Savage Knucklebuster deck. Yep. It's a big boat. This only does 3, right? Cryptic Snake could be interesting. Sweet. We're gonna get a chance to kill this Chandra, which sounds great. Well, you see, this deck is sweet, and Teamer Energy is boring. That's why we're doing this. So everything's above the board here. This deck is sweet and Teamer Energy is lame. Man, these fatal pushes are so miserable. Am I unsummoning this Whirler Virtuoso to kill this Chandra? I feel like I'm not. I feel like I'm just, like, attacking with this and, like, killing the Whirler Virtuoso and letting them have a turn with the Chandra. If we crack our fetch, we can kill his dork, right? If only the woodpecker sings. I mean, if they play Glorybringer, that's great for us, right? We just, like, unsummon it, move on with our day, and we unsummon it, kill their Chandra. No, there's no good revolt triggers in the deck, which kind of sucks. Pick it up! Pick it up! Alright, this boat is about to hit us for some damage. Fatal pushing that Hydra is a legal play. Oh no! I'm gonna concede if they kill my cub. Oh. Alright, I think we'll finish this match, I guess, but I am... Oh no, yeah, that was the match, right? We done? Oh no, there's an entire other match! Oh god. Alright, let's queue it up. This is a friendly league, so we get extra points back if we manage to win this last one. While we're waiting for the last match of Pop, I'd just like to say good morning, afternoon, and good night to everyone wherever you're in the world. Hope your day is going well. My name is Jeff Hoagland. We are smashing some bad decks into the Magic Online leagues, burning my money so you don't have to. Remember, if you're enjoying what you see, please consider subscribing on Twitch, contributing to the ticket, fire, lighting, incinerating machine that are Bad Brews in a new standard format. If you're enjoying what you see, you can also support my content by supporting my sponsors. MTGOtraders.com would love to buy and sell Magic Online cards with you. If you use code Hoagland PayPal at checkout with them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles with them. inkedgaming.com. I'd love to help you customize your gaming experience. Using code Jeff12, you can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, and sleeves with them. You can upload your own custom artwork that you have the right to redistribute, or you can select from their own wide range of stuff from their website. And finally, sparedeck.com will rent you any physical, standard, or modern deck. Using code Hoagland7, you can save 7% on your rentals from them. They'll rent you a deck for a weekend or up to an entire month. It's kind of convenient, especially early in a standard format when you're going to be changing decks a lot if you're looking to find something competitive, or if you're someone like me that plays mostly online and wants to play in paper on occasion. Renting is definitely easier and cheaper than buying. League matchmaking failed. Womp, womp, womp. Why? You gotta make yourself a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Ah, the old 1301 pair down. The stuff dreams are made of, really. Yes. This is what we're doing. Basic Mountain. Can we get Teamer Energy for the 4th time this league? Standard is so diverse and interesting. We played the same deck 4 times. They fix Hostage Taker. I have no idea. Is Hostage Taker broken? I didn't even know Hostage Taker was broken. You'll grab an extra green source here, I think. Is Hostage Taker broken? Can someone link me to the bug report? Oh, baby. Did you... Oh, God, they have a second mount. Okay. I was really confused there for half a second. Yeah, I'm just gonna play this Deeproot Champion. To be fair, WotC's really new at designing cards. I feel like I'm willing to cut WotC some slack on making mistakes like the original Hostage Taker templating, because they're new to the TCG game. Once they've been doing it for like 20 years or so, though, then it will be inexcusable for them to miss things like Hostage Taker. But while they're still pretty new at this, you know, brand new company, new card game, it's fine for them to make mistakes like that. Missing Splitter Twitted Standard, right? Hell, tell us I don't understand why Wizards of the Coast never gives me preview cards for new sets. I don't get it. I'm so friendly and positive towards all of their products. It's funny because it's not true. Biggs Wine, for the Discord, you need to go into your discord.com account and go into your user settings and link your subscribed Twitch account with your Discord app.com account, and you'll see the server pop up automatically in there for you. We're gonna chart a course. If the server didn't pop up automatically for you, wait about an hour or so. Sometimes it takes a little bit for it to populate over. So, like, there's a pretty good chance this dies, but, like, I feel like if I'm just, like, waiting around, I'm not going to be able to do anything. I need to, like, use my resources efficiently here. My opponent has enough pressure on the table, like, I need to just commit and, like, hope they don't have anything else. This current iteration is almost certainly just bad, Pimped Up Monk. Almost certainly. Well, that's not going to deal 20 damage to my opponent anytime soon. All right. Will running the campaign in Hex over and over get me anywhere in Constructed? So, the way Hex PvE translates to Hex Constructed is you acquire gold in there, and you can sell the gold for platinum or to buy cards on the auction house, and that's how you translate that from the PvE grind into PvP cards. But, like, the PvE only cards don't translate to Constructed, no. So Driven to Despair is an easy cut. I want the extra Fatal Push. I want these Deathgorge Scavengers. I mean, all the free-to-play games are like this obnoxiously long grind. So I love when people are like, you should try this CCG. It's really free-to-play friendly. I've only been playing for 45 hours, and I have a tier 1 constructed deck. It's like, if I go to work for 45 hours, do you know how much money I make in 45 hours of work? Can I just, like, buy? I don't care if your game's free-to-play friendly. I just want to, like, buy a deck and actually play your competitive game. I want to play this stupid mini-game. Where's your Aether Harvest? That's actually a good question. Don't even get me started on Arena. Every non-Hearthstone CCG, like, the fans of it assure me that it is free-to-play friendly and then get really upset when I tell them I don't care. It's just like, I don't want to free-to-play your game. I want to, like, put in my 50 bucks or my 100 bucks or whatever the deck costs and then actually play the game. And if your game is a CCG, I don't really want to spend $100 on your CCG video game. Like, for $100, I could buy Skyrim for, like, 30 bucks, right? And, like, I'm gonna get a lot of play time out of Skyrim, probably way more time than $100 one deck I'm gonna get out of a CCG. I do think, I agree. I think there's a lot of people that have more time than sense. There are a lot of people that have more time than sense. And you know what? Some people, not only that, but, like, some people, they just enjoy grinding. And, like, if you enjoy grinding, that's great. You should enjoy grinding and you're allowed to, but I am also allowed to think grinding is miserable on the flip side of that. Just as much as you are allowed to enjoy grinding, I think it's miserable and I don't enjoy it. What happened to my... I actually... I haven't played a lot the last week, but the last month I've played a buck ton of Skyrim. I haven't been streaming it because, like, it's weird. I've been playing a video game to, like, actually relax. When I'm streaming, I, like, have to be on, right? Like, believe it or not, I'm not constantly this obnoxious. I'm close to this obnoxious a lot of the time, but, like, some of the time I just want to, like, be chill and, like, play a video game, right? Harsh Mentor. That's annoying. So we're gonna unsummon this, make my guy a 3/3. Also, it turns out Skyrim's a lot more fun when you play with magic. The Knife Cat persona, we weren't using any magic for it, and the game's a lot easier when you can cast fireballs, turns out. Or like board games. It was funny. We were like playing board games last night, and one of the guys that came over was like, well, how much did you pay for this? I was like, well, Christy kickstarted it for $45. He's like, man, that's a lot of money for a board game. I was like, how many fucking Magic decks do you own? You just told me $45 was a lot of money for a video game. David, if you're watching, I love you, but I'll make this a 3/3 response. This feels bad if I get shocked. I did see that one. You get to play a TCG and then brush virtual ponies afterwards. That's a good one. That's a good one, yeah. Play this. Arc you for 6. Chart a course, draw 2 cards. Yeah, right? Like, my favorite was, I had a guy, there was one of our locals that was like, I was like, are you traveling with us to the Open? And he goes, I don't want to commit to a hotel for 2 nights because that's too much money. It's like, if the extra $30 for a second night at the hotel is going to make or break your weekend, you should probably, 1, skip the weekend, and 2, possibly have a hobby other than Magic. Because, like, $30 is, like, nothing in terms of playing Magic competitively. Or play Magic casually. Like, there's nothing wrong with playing Magic casually, right? Like, but Magic is an expensive game to play competitively. And thinking otherwise is just wrong. And again, money is there so you could do things you enjoy. So if you enjoy it, you should spend your money on the things you enjoy. I mean, I agree with the sentiment that a lot of Magic players have this mental block. They're just like, I can't eat a nice meal for $15 or $20 while we're out this weekend because I'm broke because I bought all these Magic cards. What you got? Chandra, huh? So long, Cubby Bear. Storm Siren will finish this off. This Cub will head at them. Yep. This can counter abilities too. That's pretty good. Check your privilege, Hoglid. Let's be honest here. I know Holidays was making a joke there, but Magic is a game that you can only play, probably even casually, if you have some amount of privilege, right? Like, having the disposable income to play a game like Magic the Gathering requires you to have some privilege that a lot of people aren't fortunate enough to have. And we're very lucky to be able to do that as individuals. Whoa, man. We have a reserve list. The reserve list is what makes Magic function as a core. If the reserve list was removed, Magic as a game would shudder and die. Hashtag MTG Finance. Hashtag do real finance instead. We are lucky. Mr. Tasty with the cheer. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Thank you all for enabling me to do this as a pseudo job. I appreciate it. Otherwise, I have to go back to honest work. Do real finance instead. That's rude. Wait, I can counter this, right? That's how this works? That's how this card works? That's how this card works? Get out of here, Kari Zev. Ain't nobody got time for your nonsense. He just admitted that we're his enablers, yep. No, we'll split it, Zach. We'll play 10 Cubs and 10 Deeproot Champions, and then, like, 15 lands and then spells. My favorite part about people that do MTG finance are the people that talk about profits that they've made before they've sold the cards that have made a profit. It's like, that's not how that works. Your investment has technically gone up, but you don't turn a profit on your investment until you've flipped that investment for actual cash. That's how investing works. It's like, oh man, I made so much money. Like, what was it? Hangerback walkers. One of my buddies, they made a ton. They made a ton on hangerback walkers and then sat on them for far too long and they didn't actually make a bunch of money. At what point is too many ponders, hypothetically? I'd probably play 8 ponders in most decks. Yeah, this seems pretty good, right? We've got Attune, this. We've got Deathgorge Scavenger here to gain some life here, hopefully, for us. There is a tiny child in the corner. You are not wrong. Am I just... Since I drew the land, we're just casting this, right? It's like snapping this trade. This card's way worse than I thought it was when I read it. I thought it got 1/1 counters. I heard someone call this Scavenging Ooze, so I foolishly assumed it got 1/1 counters like Scavenging Ooze. I think Glint Sleeve might be good in the board. We're going to talk about changes I'd make to the deck after we finish this last batch here. This is game 3 of the last batch of this league, and then we'll talk about possible improvements to what this deck has going on. He's currently playing with a string. I would like to block, opponent. They cast this Attune, go get a Swamp, and probably just unsummon whatever their highest power attacker is next turn. Then we'll play the Deathgorge Scavenger on 3. Another Beaumont Courier, sure. So, most of their creatures have speed in their deck, so I'm just going to go ahead and take this hit for 3 here, and then end step unsummon this Harsh Mentor, because that means they're going to have to take an extra turn to attack with it. Unsummon that. Do I want to play Longtusk Cub now or not? The question comes down to, what do I want to die to their first piece of removal? Do I want the Deathgorge Scavenger to eat it, or do I want the Longtusk Cub to eat it? The upside to playing the Longtusk Cub this turn, I guess I could go Attune Cub, plays around removal. Yeah, I guess I like that. He's Macubby Bear. It's technically dies a double shock, but if that's the line, I think I'm okay with it. Yep. Blocking's overrated. That's actually really good, right? Because it means I can play this, exile this Bowback Courier, and then, this gains life when I exile creatures, right? Yeah. Then I can unsummon this. Yes. Just gonna start attacking with this. I think we want to race them. I think with the health gain from this, we could probably just race. No, it's any graveyard. Exile target card from a graveyard. It's not opponent's graveyard. It's any. I read that part of him. I read that it was any discard pile. It's okay. I can't read either. Literacy is a big problem among Magic players. Unsummon this. This lets him get another attack with the Beaumont Courier, but like, I think I want to keep my Deathgorge Scavenger. This Longtusk Cub's just like gonna get exceedingly large. I thought this got 1/1 counters on it. It does not. It just gets 1/1 till end of turn. We're going to 10 here. Is the opponent losing this race? Doesn't feel like they're losing this race. That seems okay. That's literally what the troop command is. Look, no numbers. I think I want a Deeproot here. I can go Deeproot, Attune with the Aether for an island, play the island, have Storm Siren up. I kind of like that. This thing's gonna draw them 4 cards next turn, though, is the problem. I think I want to just keep attacking with this, just like try and kill them. Maybe I'm supposed to pump the brakes for the turn, but they can make 2 things not block. They know our last card is Deathgorge Scavenger. That's pretty good. That's a land, which means this Beaumont Courier is just going to get to straight up draw 4 for them. And they're going to have mana to use those 4 cards. They could exert with both these Crop Crashers, and then because they hit that, we're dead to shock. Oh, weird. Yeah, I think I'm okay just trading this, right? I think this is good for me. Oh, they're gonna chump with this and then draw 3 with it? That seems like a loose sequence on the opponent's part there. That seems, if you're doing that now, why didn't we just attack with it? That was pretty good. That one's pretty good. All right, If I attack with both and he doesn't block, he's just dead, right? That seems too aggressive. I think that's too aggressive. I think that's too aggressive. Because they just have a way to kill this, that just die on the backswing. My opponents commenting in chat that, like, they took the weird line that... I wonder if they're watching the stream. That they took the weird line that they took. Because of a possible unsummon. I'm like, well, you... Oh, I tapped my lands wrong here because I was talking about my opponent. That's... Okay, yep. Awkward. Awkward. That time I tapped my lands wrong. Pepperidge Farm members. Pepperidge Farmer members. Shh, I need some of my play points back. We get $4 worth of play points back, and then this league only costs us $4. Man, friendly leagues are great. I'm only gonna spew somewhere between $4 and $6 in this league instead of 12. I think it's for 20. I think I'm just attacking with both of these. Is this MTG Arena? Gods help us know. Yes, I would like to use this ability. I don't know why they're not activating this. Play a dino. I want to see. We got a dino in play right here. Playing tempo diners here. Mentor only works on activated abilities, not triggered abilities. This is a triggered ability. The important difference for these abilities, for those that are newer to Magic, is that an activated ability tends to have a colon in it because it has an activation cost followed by the ability. So this card triggers when a certain event happens. In this case, the triggered event is this card attacking or coming into play. So this does not trigger Harsh Mentor, which only happens on activated abilities. Yeah, Cub's got a little colon there. I'm just going to go ahead and let this happen because I don't want a Blossoming Defense. My guy... Well, I guess if I Blossoming Defense there and they try to kill it, I could Storm Siren them. Maybe that's fine. I probably also should have just made this a 7/7 there. It was a small mistake. Because I was talking about colons and non-colons and stuff like that. Well, I have Storm Siren for Karizev. But yeah, Karizev is a card that could definitely steal this game, so good call. I'm just going to go ahead and offer the trade here. It was Blossom is only +2/+2. 2 of the energy I have over here I got when the Cub hit them. So I didn't have enough to push through lethal last turn with the Blossoming Defense, otherwise we would have. So far, they're implying MTG Arena is going to be a collectible card game only. Correct. Yep. Think of MTG Arena as Magic's Hearthstone clone, right? That's basically what it's going to be. They're down to 3, so we've got a bunch of lethal attackers for next turn. Is it going to squeak out of here at 2 and 3? Links are enabled in chat. Act like an adult. You'll be treated like an adult. Act like a child. You'll be treated like a child. Did they say their ranked ladder is going to be best of one? That's also miserable. One of the things that's interesting about a CC that a lot of Magic players don't like or think about is that it allows a similar metagaming at the top as if you were... No, it does. Okay, so this is something that I really want to hammer on here. For reference, the real Tanagrace is not the real Tanagrace. I think the real Tanagrace is smart enough to understand what I'm about to explain. You don't have to have a CCG to have a competitive ladder that pairs you based on ability. You don't. In fact, Hex is a fucking living example of that. Pokemon Online is a living example of that. You don't have to be a CCG and lock people out of trading. See, so many people think that if the game has trading, everything else has to be exactly the same as Magic Online. That's not true. You can take all of the great, awesome things that collectible card games do, like having ranked ladder play that pairs you based on your MMR and to people of similar ability, and still have things like trading in your card game. Dude, that's allowed. You're allowed to mix and match the best elements from both. If you put trading in MTG Arena, that doesn't mean you have to not have a free-to-play option. You can have trading and a secondary market and still have your game be free-to-play. Again, Pokemon TCG Online, Hex, Shards of Fate, both of those games have free-to-play options. You can have competitive Tier 1 decks from just grinding with putting $0 in and still have the option to trade inside of those games. Magic players don't like to innovate. It's one of the reasons why metagames get so stale, and they don't understand that, like, you can innovate on formulas that are already good. You can take the good things that Hearthstone and these other collectible card games do and make them better, and cut out the crappy bits and put in the good bits that Magic Online has. We give Magic Online a lot of crap. I've given Magic Online a lot of crap over the years, but there are a number of things that Magic Online does really well that Hearthstone doesn't do and probably will never do. And if they took the good elements from Hearthstone, like the free-to-play option and the competitive ladder, and combined it with the good options, like trading, that sounds great. There is trading in Hex. Hex is a full buy, sell, trade secondary market. They have an in-game auction house that you can buy and sell cards on for the currency that you earn for free or purchase. And there are third-party websites just like MTGO Traders or Star City Games. You can just fill a shopping cart, hit checkout, give them your money, and they'll send you cards via the in-game mail system. Unexpected MTGO. The trophy race isn't a competitive ladder, because the best thing about a competitive ladder isn't the rankings that you get from it. The best thing about a competitive ladder means that I'm not getting paired against random chaff just because someone like built a deck and paid their entry fee. It's working to pair me towards people of similar playability, which is great. Anywho, let's talk about this deck. We're talking about Standard in Ixalan. So Sultai Tempo, this is a deck that was posted by Zach at Kithkins on Twitter. Zach's got a couple of Grand Prix top 8 or 2 early in the thing. At any rate, this deck seems interesting. Deeproot Champion really impressed me a number of times. I don't know that I would play this shell again specifically with it, but I'm definitely interested in exploring this card in further shells. It feels like the natural companion to Longtusk Cub. When I was playing a lot of Longtusk Cub decks last season, I kept feeling like I wanted another powerful 2-drop in the deck, and Deeproot Champion definitely feels like this other powerful runaway with the game 2-drop. Like, Longtusk Cub is really good because it's a card that I can play on 2 that applies pressure to my opponent, but it also scales as the game goes on to continue to match up with more powerful threats that my opponent is playing further up the curve. And Deeproot Champion gives that same kind of feel. It gives me this, I can play this on 2 proactively, and then it scales as the game goes along and becomes this really powerful threat. Driven to Despair. This card generated some mad blowouts. I really want to play this card in some other decks as well. I think just playing 2 to 3 copies of this and just like the straight green-black snake deck sounds really appealing. It generates card advantage on both halves. What did we not like? Unsummon was pretty miserable a number of times. There were a number of times where Unsummon was fine, and it was like a tempo card that allowed us to swing a tight race or win us the game. It's especially sweet with Deeproot Champion too. We can use this to protect our threats like Rogue Refiner or like bouncing one of our threats to our hand, but I think 4 is certainly too many. There's a number of games where like you just don't have enough going on and we drew too many Unsummons, so like I don't want to clump on 3 and 4 Unsummons ever. I think I would play at most 2 copies of this. Similarly, this deck is terrible at enabling Revolt. And these fatal pushes were super awkward at a number of different spots this game. I think I would play some number of fatal pushes in the 75. I think I would almost certainly play 1 or 2 copies in the main. But I think without the ability to trigger Revolt consistently, I don't think I would play all of these copies here. Something like Die Young might be interesting. Is Die Young an instant or is it a sorcery? I think it's a sorcery, right? Yeah, Die Young's a sorcery. But I think this might be a removal spell we're interested in playing here. Choose a creature. You get 2 energy, then you put that creature's -1/-1 for each energy you pay. So I think this card's kind of miserable being a sorcery, but I think like it's probably better than Fatal Push in a lot of situations. I haven't played... We played against blue-white approach, and we beat it with Grixis control the other day, but I don't really have an educated opinion on blue-white control in the current format. Double black is hard on the mana base. We only have 13 black sources counting Attune with the Aether, and like if you want a double black spell, you'd have to add another swamp into the deck. Someone asked about Jace Cunning Castaway. The only thing you want to do with Jace Cunning Castaway is this. You want to select him, select the copies you have in your deck, and cast them away from your deck. The card was really bad. The fact that the 2/2 doesn't have evasion feels really bad. A 2/2 body on the ground is just like not a meaningful impact to most board states. So I think you don't want to play Jace Cunning Castaway. The looting's not super powerful. These Kitesail Freebooters, I'm not sure if I was sold on these being very good against the control decks. They might be. I might want to try Duress in this slot. I think I'd like to try some like more powerful threats in the board, like perhaps some things that are resilient, like Carnage Tyrant or the Scarab God are probably cards worth considering putting in our board here. Doomfall's a card that seems very reasonable. It gives us a way to interact with boards that are just Bristling Hydras while also being a discard spell. So I don't think Doomfall might be worth testing. We didn't actually get to cast a Hostage Taker at any point, but like there were a number of games where like drawing Hostage Taker and we boarded in would have been really good. So I might go up to a 3rd copy in here just so like we have a better chance to draw it and get a feel for it. So the problem with Rune Raider is that it's a card that isn't particularly powerful on its own. It's kind of like the Snake. We only have 16 actual threats in our deck, so like I kind of want our threat, and even this is like a pseudo threat, right? Like we kind of have like 8 real threats, and then like these other cards here. Yeah, Scrap Heap Scrounger is a card that came up actually that seems kind of neat. It's kind of a resilient threat that's decent against the Scarab God on the opposing side of the board, so Scrap Heap Scrounger could be something that could be worth trying in here as well. I like what this deck is doing a lot. I am a sucker for 2 things in TCGs. I am a sucker for bad tempo decks and bad flash decks, and this certainly falls into the first category. It's definitely a bad tempo deck right now, but it feels like there's something here. This Chart Course was super impressive. I think these blue kind of these blue attacking decks, getting this 2 mana draw 2 seems great. Haven't played with the Grixis control deck since we streamed it on Tuesday. My days we stream Magic are Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, so we'll probably play with the Grixis deck some more on Sunday. Yeah, Glint Sleeve, okay, it seems okay as well. Bristling Hydra might be okay. So yeah, so if you wanted to give this deck a try, I think the easiest changes are some adjustments to the sideboard. I would cut these unsummons and a fatal push, probably for a couple copies of Die Young to get a feel for that. And then maybe another threat, maybe a Hydra in the main is fine. Maybe a Hostage Taker in the main is fine, just as like additional removal while also being additional threats. I think the Deathgorge Scavenger was pretty good. It did work against the Realm Mop red deck in the last round there. That seemed fine. I don't know if the Negates are better than Spell Pierces either. Kill target big thing, Hour of Glory. What does Hour of Glory do? That's expensive. I think Vraska's Contempt, I think playing a double blood card is probably not worthwhile. Like, our resource base, again, only has 9 black sources, plus these Attune with the Aether, so, like, trying to make black even on 4 is probably a little bit ambitious. Yeah, I don't think we're going to play another game of Magic. That's one of the things, and that's the other thing that a competitive ladder gives that Magic Online doesn't have. Like, I guess I could spew and play a 2-man, but, like, I don't want to join another league because I don't want to play 6 more matches with this deck. But, like, yeah. So, I think we're gonna have some Hexy time. That really needs a cooldown, right? But yeah, so anyways, if you're looking for something out of Tempo Shell, you could give a try to in Standard. I think there might be something here. At the very least, we're gonna explore Deeproot Champion more in future streams. Hopefully, if a Deeproot Champion top 16s or top 32s or top 8s the Open this weekend, we're gonna start with that. So Sunday night, starting shortly before the Open top 8 finishes, we'll be streaming a bunch of Standard with a bunch of different decks from that do well. And by a bunch, I mean probably 2 or 3 because again, we have to play 5 matches at a time with them. The Censor might not be terrible. I like the idea of Censor. It's like a card that's like a pseudo hard answer, but like you could cycle it off when it's not good. Yeah, I like the idea of Censor. You could also do something like, I've got these 2 Dissenter's Deliverances on the board. You could like potentially just like play these main. All right, at any rate, I'm going to go ahead and